Here we are, we're live, we're on the air, and this is In the Kitchen with Schel Kidd. And Schel is from Cooking in the Raw, and I want you to know that cooking in the raw does not mean we're eating raw food, nor is Schel naked. Oh. Ladies, but here is Schel Kidd in the kitchen. Hi, Schel, and his producer, Jackie.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Great. And are you ready to cook up for us today, the both of you?
Today, we were talking about this a little while ago. It's like, Schel, what are you doing here? You have these brown, look like stones on your cutting board. And that's exactly what they are. I figured if you're going to go vegetarian, let's just go all the way raw here. No, actually,
stone soup.
Stone soup. Actually, they're potatoes here, So I'm going to... I like to play around with a lot of different dishes, a lot of different vegetables, So I got some potatoes going. Now, since I only have like 30 minutes, I had to start my lentils early. So I have some brown lentils going on in the background. That's going to be used for a sauce. So I like to borrow different spices, different ideas from different cultures, and combine those things together to create a dish. So I'm going to let those keep going. I just checked them. They're on their way. I have some spring peas here. Do I have this napkin? Is this in the way? Paper towel? So I got some spring peas here I'm going to put in. Some fresh parsley, garlic, and just white onion. Very, very simple. So I'll start this off by getting my potatoes cooked. Now, instead of just simply roasting potatoes, boiling the potatoes, I'm trying to do it all in one pot here. I'm going to boil and then saute all at the same time. So Jackie's going to be my backup here.
Oh, yeah. I'm here.
So I'm going to toss the potato to her. She's going to get that peeled instantly.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we go here. So, sometimes you have eyes on a potato. You don't want those on. Just simply cut them off.
So I'm always curious why they call them eyes.
Because they can see you.
They know what you do.
Everyone knows that. At least I thought so.
So when I put them in a bag on my counter, they're looking at me?
Yes, they say, I see you. Well, the eyes are usually, where the roots will grow out of. There were some roots in these potatoes because I store them in a dark place. If you look inside a little pit there, you get close up on that, there's little eyes. The little root is coming out of there. So hence you'll start, this actually becomes like a seed and sprouts its leaves and produces more potatoes. So you get multiple potatoes out of one. Awesome. It just keeps repeating itself. So I'll get these cut up. Just nice chunks here. Chunks, Jackie's favorite.
That's my word, chunks.
Who's doing your camera work tonight? They're doing a good job.
Jessica is our assistant. Green. Yes.
I'll get these tossed in the pot. I'm going to bring it closer here. I'm just so used to moving around in the kitchen that usually no one's there. Watch out.
Yes, I better watch out.
All right, watch out.
Might lose my head tonight.
Say, oops, I got somebody else in the kitchen. So I'm getting my potatoes in here. Since we have a 30-minute show, it's just three of us. A nice little simple dish. Now what I'm doing here, when I first cut the potato, I always cut off a side of it, and then I'm going to turn it down low. That's to hold it firm to keep potato from rolling on you. A lot of people, they cut the potato and it's just all over the joint. If you have a sharp knife,
how come you never told me that before?
I'm telling you now. So that's to keep it firm. If you want to cut nice, even French fries, you just square the potato off.
Yeah, you're being kind of quick.
Square it off.
Watch your fingers.
And there you go. If I do it with my eyes closed, you can't tell what my eyes are closed. I'm doing this. I'm praying every time. But you square it off, and then when you cut it into nice little strips, cut it in nice little squares or rectangles or squares, and then you make nice little even dice. That's how you get those nice little dice in your dishes there. So I'm still going to use a lot of this, for me. I got 30 minutes. I got to get going. That's why I'm moving here. All right? I got to get these potatoes going.
Schel, if we took 31 minutes, we would be okay.
31 minutes, okay.
So don't try this at home real quick.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to cut them not too small, but also not too big. But I'm cutting them a little bit smaller because I want them to cook right away. The size determines oftentimes length of time. Like this here, since the skin is on, it's going to cook, but I want to cook a little bit faster, so I'll cut that one in half. That was one of my demonstration pieces earlier. All right? So let's go ahead and cut this up. Now I'm doing this kind of quick, so don't try this at home.
So what kind of potato? You're using a Wisconsin potato, or could you use a red potato? Does it matter what kind of potato?
You can use a red potato for this dish. You can use a new potato or a Yukon potato. Anything you want. You can even use a yam for this dish.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. New potatoes.
Anything else in the pot, Schel, or is it just potato right now?
Just potato.
Okay.
Just
For
potato.
our listeners or watchers, if you see me eating, I got hungry during last week's month show, so I made myself a vegan pizza to eat while Schel is cooking, because I don't get to taste the food.
One of these times you will, though.
Start this on the boil. That's doing its thing. Now, it's funny. When I was younger and my grandmother would eat potatoes, I would think, oh my God, that's just horrid. Who would eat potatoes?
I used to eat.
Oh my God, you know, but I mean, since we're talking about food, it's about your food, you know, your food. How it tastes in its raw state, give you an idea of what you want to do with it, how you want to create something with it when the finished product is there. There you go. Want to try it? Oh, no, she says. I don't want to try that.
It's a vegetable. Just kidding.
Good. Let me get some water here.
It's kind of a joke. One of those inside jokes.
So while that's going on, I'm going to get my onions chopped up. I mean, simple ingredients. As I said, spring peas, onion, garlic. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to take much. You know, when I was younger and cooking, I wanted to learn so many cooking methods. And so I would follow these recipes that would have like 20 different ingredients in them. It tasted wonderful. But then you kind of miss the big picture of the focus ingredient here. So I try to do things nowadays with a few ingredients. If I can do it with 3 or less, sometimes I do that. The fewer ingredients, the better. So everyone has a chance to play. Everyone has a chance to shine. It's just a simple dish. Rough chop on the onion. Yes, Jackie?
I like that. A simple dish.
Simple dish. Now, I may not use all this onion, but I like to just chop it up and be ready for the next dish.
That's my favorite vegetable. What do you mean you wouldn't want to use it all?
Well, sometimes I like to prep ahead, you know, because oftentimes when I'm cooking, I'm thinking about tomorrow's dish as well. Oh, I'm going to use some of this tomorrow. It's something you learn in the kitchens, is that if you have a dish that has the same ingredient, you prep extra. So I'm already set for tomorrow. Okay? That's the deal.
You're going to have onions for 2 days, Jackie.
I guess. Yeah. I'm going to have to come back tomorrow.
So that's all of my onion I'm going to use for today. Put that in the pot. That'll be ready to go. Make sure my potatoes are boiling, which they are. So I don't want to cook these all the way through. I want to cook them to just tender, the potatoes. Now, another shortcut. Where'd it go? Out of the freezer. What I have here, I like to always pre-prepare and freeze stock, vegetable stock. Here is like a nice deep brown vegetable stock. So when they cook until it extracts all the color from the vegetables. I do meat stock, and I just store those in my freezer, and I take them out as I need.
Did you put it like in an
ice cube tray. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Cook the stock, strain off the vegetable or ingredients, and then just pour it inside of your ice cube tray. I'm going to turn this down. Now, electric stove. You guys ever heard this term of electric stove? It's a love-hate relationship with electric stove. You turn your back on it, it just goes crazy. Let this calm down just a little bit. Boom. That's going to do its thing. Now let's get my cube slightly thawed. So I'm going to, now each cube here, in my ice cube tray, because I measured, each cube here is about an ounce of liquid. You know, I don't know how much I'm going to use this. I'm going to throw in about 4, 5, 6. How many ounces is that? 6 ounces. 6 ounces. I mean,
Hey, Jackie, go.
I mean, cooking is that easy, man. I hope that when people are watching, you can see how easy it is. You just have fun. You know, I want to take all the stress out of cooking. Just have fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to taste good. It tastes good to you. All right, back into the refrigerator. The freezer. That goes.
So in that pan, you just put only the...
Only the stock. Because what I'm going to do with the lentils, I'm going to puree them. Then I'm going to add my stock to get the consistency of the sauce that I want as I finish out the dish. Let me check my lentils again. See where we're at?
And what kind of lentils was that again?
Brown lentils.
Brown lentils.
And I have to ask, but does this recipe have a name, or is it Shel's lentil potato pea?
That's all his recipes.
All right, well,
Make muffins we go.
now, funny thing, I make these recipes up.
You do.
At the moment.
You do.
You know, as I said, this particular recipe I'm borrowing from the Indian or Middle Eastern culture. So I have my, I don't know if you can see that from here, I have my chemistry set right over here in the corner. These are all different spices that I use to create different dishes and different flavors. I can take a trip around the world and make a dish from any place that I want. So what I have over here, I have an Italian herb mix using dried over here, an Italian herb mix, onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne, ground chilies, caraway seeds, oregano, red pepper flakes, coriander, cumin, smoked paprika, sweet paprika, parsley, cardamom. I have it all. And more to come. You know, so I like to keep adding, and then when I get in these moods, I like to show on the shows that understand each individual spice and the flavor that it has. And once you understand those simple things, like the simple flavor, like, you know, quite naturally, the red pepper flakes are going to be hot. Okay, but there's a subtle fruitiness to it there as well. You know, you can add a little background to your dish, you know, or some of the, like cinnamon. You know, cinnamon actually has a sweet, hot kind of characteristic to it. So you think about those things when you combine all these flavors together, you know, to create your dish. And I can just simply do it. If you go by color, or if you go by smell, sometimes by taste I do it, it'll give you an idea, okay, how much of this I want versus how much of that do you want. And of course, we can't forget pepper and salt. All right?
What about double zero?
Double zeros? Oh, I didn't talk about double zero. Double zeros in the house.
Double zero.
Where is it? Double zero.
All right.
Right here. I'm running low, too. As you can tell, double zero is a spice that I created, you know, that I use to flavor so many different dishes. It's a combination of all these spices that I have here. You know, and then the double zero also was the foundation for many other spices that I created here in the kitchen. All right, that's doing its thing. That's really, really close. Let me check my potato. So we got Erica Badu down in the background. You know, I like cooking the music. I don't know about anybody else, you know. It's a celebration for me every time I'm in the kitchen. And if I can't have music, then, well, what's the point? Secrets of life, good food, good friends, good glass of wine, and music. All right, so that's doing its thing. I'm going to turn this up and just simply finish cooking, let the water evaporate. Then I'm going to start another process here. Let's move this over to the side.
So what kind of texture are you looking for in those potatoes? Just soft?
To the bite.
Oh, okay.
Just to the bite.
Okay.
I don't want it to be too soft. You know, we're not making mashed potatoes, but I just want it to be done. Because they're going to finish cooking as I begin to saute. All right, bring my lentils over here. Whoa, baby. I don't have my kitchen hands anymore. You know, I used to work in professional kitchens. You know, now I've got it kind of soft. You know, so I can't stand the heat. What's that? You can't stand the heat.
Get out of
It's a very smooth stain. Very freaking smooth.
Yes. All right. So that's the first thing here. We get that a little bit pureed. I got my sauce over here. Bing, bing, bing. Now it's funny. You have to keep track of everything that you're doing in the kitchen here. That's always the funny part. People often ask, why do you keep track of everything? Well, you use all your senses. Sometimes you can't see because you have your back to something, but you can hear. You know what I mean? The rolling boil or something gives you an idea. That boil, when a pot is full, it has like a, for lack of a better way of describing, a full boil. You can hear like, brrr. But as it begins to evaporate, it gets down to like a, you know, it's very little water in there. So using your senses, also your sense of smell. The minute something begins to burn, got to catch it right there, right? So you have to use all your sense when you cook, so you can make multiple things. Of course.
The flames. I see your insignia logo is flames. So he looked at the stove. Let's see the flames on the stove.
Well, I got electric here, so we have to go rings. But we can go like this. Here's the flame. Okay, zero on that. There's the flame.
When you see the flame, it's time to do something.
All right. So that's going very well. Now, potatoes. If you look at them, I'm going to pull one out here. Woo, that's hot. I mean, potatoes begins to cook. It's just almost like rice. You probably can't see that too well, but you know how rice is that really white, glossy, kind of like potatoes, like the starch. But as it begins to cook, it becomes a little bit more translucent, but as it gets towards the center, it's still a little bit dark. So I want this to be just to the bite on the center, but a little soft on the outside. All right? Woo, baby. All right, let's move you down here. And
Man is moving.
move it. All right, juice. Now, oftentimes I use water. Oh, excuse me. We were experiencing technical difficulties. So I want to check the consistency of what I have for a sauce. Pretty runny, so I can always add more lentils to it. You know, and if you don't want to use the vegetable stock or you want to make your own, you can use low sodium canned vegetable stock. Sometimes I simply use the water. I mean, oftentimes people will just get rid of the liquid that they use to cook their beans in or any of their vegetables. There's all of your nutrients right there. Use them. Excuse me. Check that consistency again. Coming. So this is going to be a couple more times. Just keep adding. And I want to leave some lentils whole, just so you know that there are lentils in the dish. All right. There we go. Go right here. That's doing this thing. Excuse me. So it is. There we go. So that's all we want here. Don't forget to unplug. Safety first in the kitchen. Wonderful. Now we can cook this down to make our sauce a little bit more. So you got
water left in the potato pan?
Huh?
Is there much water left in your potato pan?
Gone.
Okay.
They're actually starting to stick.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now, one thing about electric burners is it draws the food down. You know, so you really have to be mindful, really have to be careful in working with that. So I'm going to take the potatoes out, put them on my plate here, because I'm going to add those back in a little bit later. Now, I want to keep that starch that's in there. Let's go down. All right. So I got to put my oil off the fire until this calms down a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to burn on me.
Why do you want to keep your starch in there?
Because I'm going to have that help me use as a thickener. What I'm doing here. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to add my onion. But it's still going to be hot. I mean, it's already sizzling. You know, the pot was hot, the burner is hot. Well, I like to start it low and then bring it back up. So add my onion. Jackie, you like onion, right?
I love onion.
All right, that's exactly.
Onions and garlic, that's
all right, and while
my
that's
favorite
going to
vegetables.
sing, I am going to, where's my fire? Excuse me. I'm going to start reducing some of my sauce here on the back burner. See, I don't know if you saw that pour it out. You see that pouring out? It has a nice consistency, but I want to reduce it down just a little bit. Okay? Don't forget to wipe. See, I keep plenty of paper towels on hand for the tab. All right, off here, let that do its thing. Want this to cook up. And see, you know, the onions themselves, I mean, they're going to release their juices and pull up some of the starch that's here, so it won't be burning. You can see the starch of the potatoes here. So it's not going to burn. I want to keep it nice and brown. So it gives a nice little texture and also adds flavor. You know what cooking is? It's about adding layers and layers of flavor. Don't want to get rid of that. I don't want to eat that. All right. Something like potato skin. So that's what it's doing. We get some garlic, rough chop on all of this. Very simple. Because in this dish here, it's all about the flavor, and I want to taste it. Do you guys like garlic?
You bet.
I think Jackie does, right? You're the taster.
Oh, yes, I love garlic.
Right. Now, you can't really tell, but I'm cutting this, kind of thin because I actually wanted to cook in the dish. I don't want it to be, hard and pungent, have that pungent taste that you get when you eat raw garlic. I want the garlic to have a nice cooked texture to it. Again, using my senses here. Now, there's two ways with spice when you're looking with spices. You can add the spice to the dish. You can add the spice to your dish while it's cooking and let it just slowly blend in with the dish. Or you can add it to the saute, heat the spice up, kind of like pre-cook it, and then add ingredients on top of that. I haven't decided which direction we're going to go yet. But depending on how you go, it'll give you an entirely different flavor. I'm going to add my garlic to this dish.
And why do you add the garlic after the onion?
Because I don't want the garlic to burn.
Does it cook quicker?
No, it doesn't cook quicker, but if the garlic burns, you're going to get this kind of rancid, not so good taste. So I like to add my garlic after, or sometimes I add my garlic and onion together in a dish. So this is just nothing but a saute. I want some coloring to take place here, so I turn my fire up down here to watch it and not doing anything else. I turn the fire up so I can get, you can smell that. So get a nice saute.
It's my favorite smell.
I'm going to add some grounds of pepper to this dish right now. Right now I'm doing this building layers of things here. Everything has a layer. You decide what your grounds are. If I had to guess, I probably did about a quarter of a teaspoon, But again, by smell. I don't know if you can, but I can smell the pepper. Can you smell the pepper? No, you can't smell the pepper.
Yeah.
Can you smell the
Garlic.
There we go there. I'm even going to add some more onion.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, there's no perfect recipe when cooking. I'm smelling this, I'm thinking, okay, I want to add a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that to it. And notice with oil, I tell people you can always add oil, but you can't take it out. So I always add a little bit of oil at a time to my dishes when I'm cooking. Because if I need more oil, I just add a little bit more. That's another little secret for you. Don't put on oil. If the recipe says 2 tablespoons of oil, if you never made it before, why use 2 tablespoons of oil? All right, so that's going to get some nice coloring there. Now let's pour in the next. The next spice. Oh, it's an electric. Got to watch out for it. It's an electric. The next spice is going to be pepper flakes. We're going for the heat today. You guys all right with that?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit. Doesn't need a lot. Okay. My little bit, not a little bit. I mean, adjust the heat the way you want. I'm going to throw in some coriander. So I'm going to cook these spices in. Going by the smell, I'm going to throw in some, Jackie, help me out.
Yeah.
Could you put the lid back on for me?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Now I'm going to throw in some cardamom on top of that, and maybe just a little bit of turmeric. Now, turmeric, you use for color, but it actually has a flavor to it. But I don't want that much color to it. I'm more interested in the flavor in this case than it is the color. That's how you get your curry to be that yellow color. What else I want to put in here? How about some ground ginger I put in here? Okay. Some ground ginger. Now, I don't know if we can get a look at that. You can see the colors coming together in the spices. All right, so it's like color bar paint by numbers. So I'm seasoning by color here. All right, now I'm going to save caraway seeds for later. What else we got here, Jackie? Anything else you think we should put in here, Jackie? We'll let Jackie pick the next ingredient. Cumin. Did you say cumin?
That's what I said.
All right. I'm going to put in some 00.
What about my choice?
All right, I'm waiting for you.
Well, I don't see anything here that
Now,
I need.
a lesson to the wise. When you're having someone assist you in the kitchen and you have your food on the fire, you have to rush them along, okay?
Well,
He's still thinking, Schel.
I said there was some cinnamon, but I don't.
You know you heard pasta doesn't wait for anyone? This dish isn't going to wait for anyone. You want cinnamon?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got cinnamon up here. We got to go to the top one here. Ba 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 ba. That cinnamon sugar mix. We don't want cinnamon sugar in this dish. Whoa, save me. Okay, I don't know what my cinnamon is.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute, here we go. I had it hidden behind. All right, there you go. Open it up.
Here, let me hit it.
All right, I want you to...
Okay, I'm all ready to hit
All right,
it.
go ahead. Very lightly.
All right, very lightly.
Okay, now, the reason why I say it very lightly because cinnamon has a very, very strong flavor. You don't want that flavor to dominate your dish. I hope you didn't get too much there because I tried to pull the pot away from
You
it.
did.
All right?
I know it's going to come off that quick.
All right, so now I'm going to add in my lentil puree.
I think we smell that cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Lentil puree. All right, now at this stage here, water is okay if you ran out because we're just simply building the sauce. I mean, most people don't think about, adding water to help liquefy a lot of your dishes and your sauces. But I do. And in fact, sometimes I make soup, and my soups all begin with water and nothing else. So I want this to be a medium sauce consistency, but right now I'm just trying to get it all nice and blended together and flavored. Add a little bit more water to it. Then I'm going to add some salt.
I'm getting excited. It's almost time to taste.
Almost done.
I can almost feel like I can smell it over here.
It smells. It's very aromatic over here.
Yeah.
All right, we turn that down. Then do its thing. Let's get a taste and see where we're at with salt. All right, I'm going to need more salt to it. I'm going to go for the pre-grind. You can taste the heat. Woo, baby. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more salt than normal because we have the lentils and we also have potatoes, which is the start. Just like pasta. Yes. You want to say something?
No.
Oh, let me say something.
No.
Add our peas in.
Peas.
Oh, forget about the peas. I didn't forget about the peas. This is a live show. Add our peas in. Okay. Gonna add a little bit of sweetness to the dish. And now we're going to chop in some parsley. So let's get this. Stems and all. Believe it or not, most people don't think about it. There's so much flavor in parsley and what it adds to a dish. It almost adds like nice earthy vegetable characteristic to it. A whole different dimension and depth to a dish. So I like using fresh parsley, using just parsley in general. And it also adds color to the dish. Let's see where we're at now with salt. All right, Jackie, you're my salt taster.
Bam.
There you go. Got your spoon?
All right.
I'm getting ready to put it all together. All right. Salt's good.
Yep.
Potatoes are going in. You know, ready to camera, Jackie?
I know.
Potatoes are going in. Now, here's something you can eat this with chapati. You can eat it with flour tortillas. Or you can eat it, huh?
Naan.
Naan, yeah, or even just a hard cracker bread, flat bread. So that's doing this thing. Time to play. Can he do it? Oh my God!
1 minute, can he do it?
Parsley, stems it all. Oh my God! I don't think he can make it, folks. Oh, it reminds me of when I was on the stage at Color Food and Wine.
Yeah.
Parsley is in.
Yay! We got it.
Now, I would toss this, but there's so much liquid here. Jackie, pass me a new plate from the cupboard.
You want a large one?
Yes, ma'am. Large plate.
All right. Go.
All right. Grab some tortillas out, Jackie, if you like. We didn't have any flat-bread or naan. Here is our dish, ready to be plated. That's the corn, is it?
No. Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, so this is a nice, simple vegetarian, almost like Middle Eastern dish. I find that in the Indian culture, when you're a vegetarian, they do quite a bit with potatoes, which is what I like to do here today. You know, sort of different things you can make. And so Jackie actually put a twist on it and made it kind of like Moroccan, where she added
The cinnamon.
Look at that.
All right. Didn't know it. So, go for the taste.
Yeah.
There's no flour in here?
Yeah. Yeah, oh, I don't know.
Oh, I'm out of flour. Okay, I'm out of flour, so you have to go for it. Let's go for the taste. Let's see how your cinnamon worked out.
Okay.
Now, again, you can adjust the salt to your liking. I myself, I don't do a lot with salt. I just like to taste the flavors of the dishes. You know, so that's entirely up to you. Can you taste your cinnamon?
Okay.
Is it too strong?
No.
All right, here's it.
It actually kind of comes like in the back end.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's a very important feature, you know, again, playing with the spices and making sure that they appear at the time they're supposed to appear in the dish. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, raw vegetarian style. Let's not block the dish down. Hope you enjoyed this segment of Cooking Raw Vegetarian Style, and thank you very much for having us here, Create a Calm Network, and everyone out there. I had a great time, as always, listening to you, and I hope when you're in the kitchen, that you can think very simply when it comes to cooking.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And it looks great. And Schel, before we leave, so would it be more of a Middle Eastern or more Indian or more Moroccan? If you had to kind of, now that you've tasted it.
I would say more Moroccan in this case. Because
Cinnamon.
actually, it's very subtle, but it actually comes through, adds a little bit more body to the dish. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's great. And I want to thank both of you and let everybody know that if you'd like more of Schel Kidd, you can find him at Cooking in the Raw on Facebook, and you've got, yes, Cooking in the Raw. There's his heat and his fire. And you've got a magazine. How do they get your first issue of the magazine, or how can they subscribe?
Well, you can subscribe by going to cookingintheraw.net, and once you go to cookingintheraw.net, the first issue of the magazine is right there on the page, where you go to the magazine page. So you
That's great magazine, Schel. I love the magazine, the graphics, the photographs, the recipes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jackie, you're more than a producer of Cooking in the Raw. What else do you have? A whole other gig? Do you want to share with us what you do in Sheboygan? Or?
Oh, no, I'm just part of Cooking in the Raw.
You're my official taste tester, but beyond that.
If you want to learn more about what I do, you can hop over to SheboyganHangoutLocal.com. I do a couple different things over there, so I would, you know, if you hop over there, let me know that you're over there, and I'll say hello to you.
That's great. And you really help people with social media and promoting as well. So,
right. Basically local marketing.
Yeah. Great. And you can find more on Jackie and Schel if you go to cooking.Creating Calm Network. And Schel, remember to take a picture before you eat it all up.
Oh,
yeah.
Good point. I was about to dig in. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks.
Everybody.
All right.